On October 20th, 2025, Ukraine did something Russia never imagined possible. Using 5 small drones, Ukraine destroyed a massive Russian landing ship that was loaded with 500 tons of ammunition. The attack lasted less than 20 minutes but changed everything. Radar systems failed, defenses were jammed, and a $200 million vessel was ripped in half, all by a weapon that costs less than a single missile. And this is how it all went down. It's 4:30 a.m. The Black Sea is silent, dark, and cold. A Russian landing ship, the Rapucha class, drifts lazily near Kherson Bay, carrying 500 tons of ammunition. The mission is supposed to be routine. Hours earlier, Moscow had reopened its ammo corridor after striking a quiet deal with Turkey. The route was meant to be safe now, completely off limits to Ukrainian attack. But safety, as they were about to learn, is an illusion. Out in the black water, a shape cuts through the waves. A Barracuda unmanned surface vessel, only 20 feet long, powered by a hybrid motor that barely makes a ripple. It has been tailing the Russian ship for almost an hour. Inside its modular bay sit 4 compact FPV drones called Wild Hornets. Each is armed with a 1.5-pound shaped charge. Nothing fancy, nothing high-tech by superpower standards, but it is deadly when used right. Ukraine built these things for one purpose: to humiliate giants. The Barracuda moves in steady bursts, riding low, its sensors scanning, its operator miles away watching every heartbeat on screen. The mission sounds suicidal because it is just one small craft versus a floating fortress. But that's the kind of math Ukraine's been rewriting since this war began. At 4:36, the Barracuda slows. It is now within striking distance. The operator gives a short command in Ukrainian. The first Wild Hornet lifts off, its rotors slicing the air. The drone doesn't fly straight. It spirals sideways, hugging the water at just 10 feet. This maneuver is the reverse helix, and it looks chaotic to the naked eye but is pure, calculated madness. The point is to confuse radar, to break prediction patterns before the ship's defenses even know what's happening. Inside the Russian Combat Information Center, the radar officer suddenly sits up. He sees a faint blip appear on the screen. It is small, irregular, too slow for a missile, too low for a plane. But yes, he calls it in. The system flags it as a low-altitude anomaly. To him, it is probably just a seagull or a stray drone. He doesn't know he has already lost the first move. The Russian radar was built to track predictable flight paths. It expects logic, like straight lines and steady speeds, but what it's seeing now looks like a glitch. The fire control computer continually recalculates, attempting to predict the object's next move. Every few seconds, it fails. The Hornet's reverse helix flight is rewriting the rules. On the screen, the target appears to be drunk. The officer frowns, taps the display, and rechecks his instruments. His pride won't let him admit he is confused. He thinks he has caught a standard Ukrainian recon drone. He has no idea he has just fallen for bait. Then, out of nowhere, the radar emits a sharp tone. Lock-on attempt failed. That sound is loud enough to wake the captain. That's when the crew switches to combat readiness, activating the ship's electronic warfare suite. The TK-25E jammer spins up, flooding the air with static. By 4:41, the entire sky around the ship becomes an invisible storm of electromagnetic noise. On the Ukrainian screen, the FPV's video feed shows just white snow, digital static, and broken telemetry. GPS drops out completely. The drone is flying blind. For a moment, everyone watching in the Ukrainian van freezes. They are thinking that maybe the signal died or maybe the jammer won. Then, one by one, the systems kick back in. The Wild Hornet doesn't need GPS anymore. It has switched to inertial navigation, a self-contained guidance system that doesn't listen to satellites, just physics. It measures acceleration, rotation, and velocity all by itself. No problem if there is no signal. It keeps flying. The operator exhales and re-engages. The Barracuda boosts its antenna power, focusing its transmission through a tight beam aimed right at the drones, punching through the Russian interference. The feed flickers and then stabilizes. Control is restored. Now the game shifts from stealth to swarm. The second and third Wild Hornets take off, following the same unpredictable path. They zigzag, twist, and dive, moving like a storm of mechanical hornets darting toward a single target. The Russian jammer throws everything it has, like noise, pulses, frequency hops, but it's useless. The operator in charge of electronic warfare stares at his console, furious and helpless. The drones are not listening anymore. They are coming on their own terms. At 4:44 a.m., the quiet sea explodes into sound. The AK-630 wakes up like it's a possessed machine. Its 6 barrels spin so fast they blur, spitting thousands of bullets into the night. The roar is deafening. There is metal screaming against metal. The water lights up with streaks of fire. Inside the Ukrainian control van, the drone's camera shakes violently, the feed filled with flashes. The gun is doing what it was built to do: hunt and kill anything in the sky. But tonight it's fighting something it doesn't understand. The AK-630 is made to track fast, predictable targets like jets, missiles, and things that move in straight lines. These drones don't. They twist, dip, and roll across the surface of the water, flying too low and too wild for the machine to think straight. Its computer hesitates for half a second before every detonation, and half a second in this fight is all it takes to lose. The Ukrainian operator doesn't blink. He splits his swarm. 2 wild hornets climb high and bright, showing themselves on purpose. On the Russian radar, they look huge. They are the perfect targets. The AK-630 swivels its barrels and opens fire again, unleashing everything it has. The sky turns white with tracers, bullets pouring like rain. The gunners don't know they are wasting their ammo. The drones they are chasing are decoys. They are just bait. While those 2 rise, the other drones drop even lower. They race forward just above the waves, invisible under the storm of their own distraction. They weave through the air, following the helix pattern that's now burning into military textbooks forever. The AK-630's barrels glow cherry red and finally go silent. Its magazines are half empty. The defenders have just thrown away their best weapon, and that's when a deeper rumble echoes across the water. Out of the dark, another shape cuts through the waves. It's a Russian Project 22,160 patrol ship, sleek, expensive, and loaded with weapons. This is the fleet's guard dog, sent to protect the Rapucha. Its engines roar and its guns open up, but not at the drones. It targets the Barracuda, the little unmanned boat controlling everything. The Russians are going for the source. If they can kill the queen, maybe they can stop the swarm. It's desperate, but it makes sense. The Ukrainian operator sees it coming and smiles. This is exactly what he wanted. He peels one drone off from the rest and sends it screaming straight toward the patrol ship. The thing moves like a bullet, kicking up spray, bright on every radar screen. The patrol ship locks on instantly. Every sailor on deck aims at it. Machine guns thunder. Rifles join in. The whole crew focuses on this single brave decoy, and while they are all looking up, the real attack is already underway. 2 wild hornets glide through the chaos just 5 feet above the water. They use the patrol ship's own wake to hide. To radar, they look like pieces of sea spray. The Russian gunners have no idea they are there. The hornets slide past the patrol ship and lock onto the main target, the Rapucha-class ammunition ship. On its deck sit long rows of metal boxes. Each box is filled with artillery shells and rockets, waiting to be shipped to the Kherson front. The first drone dives in. For a second, nothing happens. Then suddenly the fire spreads into the storage area where the ammunition sits. One round ignites another and another and another. A chain reaction starts, rolling through the ship like thunder. The crew bursts onto the deck, shouting and panicking. Some grab their AK-74s and fire into the night, trying to hit drones they cannot see. Bullets splash harmlessly into the sea. Others rush to hoses, trying to fight flames already out of control. The captain orders a hard turn, but the ship is too heavy. Every second feels like forever. Then the second Hornet hits. It dives low, hugging the surface, and slams straight into the center of the deck. The hull splits with a deep metallic crack. Lights flicker and die. Inside, it's chaos. Men stumble in the smoke, trying to reach escape hatches. Fire runs along the ceiling. Alarms wail until their wires melt. The floor tilts under their feet as seawater pours in through the broken hull. The once proud Rapucha groans like it's alive, bending, twisting, and finally breaking. The ammunition still burning inside pushes the ship past its limit. Steel snaps, and the vessel splits clean in two. Above, the patrol ship realizes what has just happened. The crew stops firing. They stare in disbelief as the Rapucha tears apart and begins to sink. Some of them cheer, thinking the explosion means the threat was destroyed, until they see the burning wreck sliding under the waves. In less than 20 minutes, it's all over. The drones are gone. The Barracuda drifts quietly in the distance, mission complete. The sea that had been calm minutes ago now glows red and orange with fire. The Russian safe zone is gone. The ammo convoy is gone. What took Russia months to build, ship, and protect was erased in under 20 minutes by a $50,000 swarm and one Ukrainian operator. That's a huge humiliation. A $200 million warship, 500 tons of ammunition, and 20% of Kherson's artillery firepower are gone. For Ukrainian troops, that silence on the front lines means they have won another game of survival. But the real damage starts after the smoke clears. The so-called safe Turkish supply route is finished. Russia now has to push everything through the land bridge in Crimea, a corridor constantly hit by HIMARS and Storm Shadow strikes. Every truck, every train now moves under fire, and Moscow knows it. The strike forced the Kremlin to pull high-value air defenses from the front to guard the coast. This includes S-400s, Panzers, and even TORS. Every missile launcher move to protect a ship means one less soldier guarding. This is a perfect and strategic self-sabotage. This proves that Ukraine didn't just sink a ship. It rewired the entire war map of the Black Sea and proved that brains beat steel every single time. What do you think? What other weak points can Ukraine hit next? Let us know in the comment section below. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates on this war. Goodbye for now.